What's going on, everybody? Peter Kowalczyk here, writer-director, and welcome to the new setup for the Writer's Room. This series is a little bit of a glimpse behind the scenes on how we develop, outline, and write our stories. We're here because we want to challenge ourselves as writers. We want to constantly be flexing those creative muscles, and we want to bring all of you along the ride with us. Today, Zach and I are coming in with a super simple idea, and by the end of this episode, we will have outlined a micro-budget sci-fi feature film. We're gonna take the seed of an idea and we're gonna flesh that out into a fully developed story arc. So it starts out with a guy like looking for something with a metal detector, and he ends up finding some type of artifact. Yeah. And this artifact ends up being some type of an ancient AI artifact device, right?
Or like kind of like an AI, but like a library. Like it can give information, and its job is to take information. That's all it's doing.
See, and that's a cool, like you said, that's a cool idea. We could design this artifact. Is it going to be small? Like something that, like, is it going to be like something like this big or something that we could design it? We could print it with a 3D printer. We could paint it, distress it, and maybe even put something that glows on the inside for when you're like data is being transferred.
It's fully powered or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have and then we build out some sort of like interaction between the artifact and the main character, and then we have a goal that either he has to do or the artifact wants to do. Dude, I thought of a really cool, I thought of a really cool opening for this movie. You know, have you seen Lord of War with Nick Cage? You know the opening scene where we're following the bullet through the making of... Yeah, and it's like from the bullet's perspective. We do that with the artifact. Like a kid picks it up and is like, whoa, that's really cool. And then like puts it in the pocket, but then it falls through a hole and goes, and then it gets like washed over. And then we just show like, it's under the water, and then like a fisherman scoops it up with a net and throws it, and it like falls and blah, 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 and like goes throughout its journey. And we could use AI to do a lot of those shots, but we could take a picture from the perspective with the artifact in the middle, and then we bring it into AI, and then we have it animated.
I get it, but I'm saying, so you're saying from the start in this movie, we're gonna know that it's an ancient artifact?
No, so imagine this. Imagine we see somebody interacting with it in the very beginning, a person, and something happens, with like it's almost like a teeth. Oh well, no, I was even saying it's a human being, not an ancient human being, but like maybe in the 70s somebody had almost like The Ring, the Lord of the Rings, where it shows like, okay, who had it before and how it corrupted that person, and then that person died, and then the ring got washed into Gollum and blah 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 blah. We show like somebody has it, and they have all the knowledge of the universe because they've had it for a while, and then they end up doing something evil or terrible because of that, and then he like dies with it in his hand, and it falls out of his hand, and like it falls, and then we see its journey until it gets to our main character, and then from there we know that this thing, we know what it is, but the main character doesn't, and then we're like, oh,
so
that's weird, like this.
So, from the very start of the movie, people are going to know it's an ancient artifact?
They're not necessarily going to know it's ancient, but they're going to know it's some type of like science fiction artifact. What do you think? Do you like that idea, or would you rather keep it a mystery and see everything from this guy's perspective?
That's the whole thing. Like, I like mystery stuffs, but the rewatchability of it is bad unless you're making really good like kind of Easter eggs to where it's like every single time you're watching it again, you're noticing something different. But still, like, people don't rewatch mystery shit because it's not a mystery anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So
like I watched Knives Out once, and then I don't want to watch it again.
What movie?
Knives Out.
Oh yeah, well, I don't like it. I don't like that guy anyway.
Rian Johnson.
Yeah, his whole shit is because I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, I kind of guess where everything's going anyway. I mean, he's making a movie. It's not like he's changing the laws of physics here. Like,
No.
I don't know.
But
His
like
stuff isn't
this,
that good.
I know what you mean. Like the mystery, the stuff where there's a twist at the end. It's like you only really watch it once. Maybe 10 years down the road, you're like, oh, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
But the stuff that's
Oh, I
really
think, yeah.
rewatchable is the tension, the tension that you, the audience, knows there's something up with that thing, but the character doesn't, and you are like, you have this tension inside of you, like, don't do that. Oh, it's something, you don't know, you can't see it, like, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it would be good if like we know what it is. So, but like, but
Okay.
then that makes it now
We don't
harder.
know.
Now we're gonna definitely need AI for that shit because we're not gonna show like something in the 70s or something like that. Like, because then it would mean it was last used in the 70s, and like I was thinking like it was last used like 2,000 years ago or something like that.
We could do that. We could have somebody like
You
we
could film that
can
in
make
California. That's deserty shit out there. You could find a spot
yeah,
and you could
exactly.
be the guy, the original
Well,
guy.
yeah, exactly.
You literally just film you
And
being like, "Da, da, da, da," in like some ancient language that you made up, you know?
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then so before we get into like the details of like the actual opening scene and the scenes preceding that, then we have to figure out like what is the full capability of this artifact and like what is going to be the ends that we're like going toward, like what is
Right.
what is going to be the climax of the film,
So,
roughly.
yeah. So it wouldn't be able to, I think, affect the world around it, besides moving air in vibrations so we could hear it. You know, that's
Okay.
the only thing it could really do. And looking like maybe that glowy shit at the end or something. But it doesn't affect the world around it. It's not going to download shit from the internet. It can't like affect electrical signals or anything like that. It's just this. You know, the same way fucking I don't know, anything back in the day worked. A fucking Walkman, you
it,
know?
yeah, I was gonna say it's like an MP3 player, like the original MP3 players that didn't connect to Wi-Fi. That you had to plug it into something and transfer something onto it in order to get something off of it.
All right. Here's one. Is it gonna have a personality? Like,
I think that would be cool because we could do voiceover for the person for like the voice of the thing, and
I
then
think it
it'll
would be
be like,
cool, but it should like because it's gonna be made back in the day with these ancient people. So
but it's so smart because it has
how
ancient
what
knowledge
yeah,
and it's an
like what is
AI
its
that it learns
personality? Is it
English.
like honor or something like that? Like what's the important thing? Like for us it would be money. Are you worth anything? Or something like
Hmm.
that. And for a lot of all out time it might be that. But then, you know, it might be some fucking I don't know, Chinese monk or some shit found it and it's all about, you know, intellectual wisdom or something. So like, you
Hmm.
know, but like depending on who made it. So
Well, the people
and
who
its
made is
purpose
this
is
like
to get information
Atlantis?
and say it. The purpose of it is to get information and say it, which says something akin to like the kind of person who made it. He's
Hmm.
probably going to be a little bit selfless, you know. So like maybe like we apply the what we would imagine this builder of it to be, apply his personality to it. So it'd be like honor, selflessness, uh
The learning new things like knowledge.
open-minded, you know.
Mm-hmm. Because like imagine what's the goal of the people from Star Trek, right? They're not trying to get money or
Communism,
resources or
space communism.
well, it is space communism, but their goal in Starfleet is to explore and to learn and to like discover. And it's not to absorb anything or like take anything or because they have replicators, so they don't need anything. They don't need money, they don't need resources. So their whole goal is to gain knowledge and learn about the universe and discover new life. So this could have a similar goal of learning and discovery and anytime it well, you said it can't affect the world around it, but if it has a personality and it's talking to somebody and it's absorbing information through conversation, then
The only
does it
thing
have
it
like
could
some type
do,
of neural network?
well, that's the like, yeah, That's what I mean. But like about should we give it a personality? Because it might. And but that's what I mean. Like we should have it be this selfless thing, so it's not manipulative. You know,
It's
it
not
maybe it
manipulative.
and it does have like a thing. It's not like it might have the ability to manipulate through speech, put a nam shove
Hmm.
into somebody's brain and make them think a thing. But
But it can't
it
affect anything because it's literally just a speaker with a person. Like it might as well be somebody on the other
and
side of the
maybe
phone,
it
right?
can't lie either. So, but then
Ooh,
you could
okay, that's cool.
it won't lie, things like that. You know, but I mean in the grand scheme of it, and the maybe tens of thousands of years this thing has been around, it
Hmm.
could have manipulated at least one person, but let's just say it hasn't, and it could in the future, but let's just say it doesn't. And also, we're just talking about this part of its life and the story of it, where it definitely doesn't.
Hmm.
So, like, the potential of it may be doing that, you know, it still
So
has
is
that
it
potential.
it's inherently good? It's inherently good though, and it's
Yes,
just
and if
like
it did do something bad, not like emotion, like it would feel bad, but it would regret it, you know? Because
it like goes
regret is
against its
something without
programming.
emotion, you could regret something non-emotionally, you know?
Really?
Yeah. As long as you
Well, I feel
remember
like
what you
the
did. Like, even a grub could regret, oh, I fucking shouldn't have made that decision, but, like, obviously it doesn't think like that. But it would be like,
yeah, but
not
like
doing
but
that
your
again.
initial even your initial like noise that you made was that's like an emotional noise like oh that sucked like
No,
I
that's
felt
that's
bad
a
about
physical
that so I'm not
noise.
going to do that again.
No, that's a physical noise. You make that noise when something physical happens, not emotional. I mean, you can emotional, but that's like almost like saying, like someone stabs and you go ah, like
Okay, so it's not emotional. It's kind
Mhm.
of like a neural network computer. It can absorb information by like viewing and listening and hearing and having conversations. But it's essentially just like a voice and like a camera and it's a brain and its whole goal, it was created to, because it could never be destroyed. Maybe it can never be destroyed somehow. It's like made of
Yeah,
some type of alloy.
yeah. Like
So it was
you
developed
ever,
specifically to last the test of time and learn about the universe as much as like learn. The goal of it is to learn everything about the universe.
yeah, yeah.
But in pursuit of learning, it's inherently good. But in pursuit of learning things, it can cause bad things to happen
Well,
because.
an observer will always change the universe.
Ooh,
Observing
ooh, so
something
it is.
changes particles to its very nature.
Oh, dude, that's like the quote that we have in small letters over black right before the film starts, and it's
What?
called The Observer. That quote about observation changes the part like elements, and it's like something that's being observed comes into reality, and that's like the premise of the entire film, is that this was created so that even if all conscious life is destroyed in the universe, there will always be an observer, so the universe
All
will
right.
always exist.
How about this though?
Oh, that's deep, bro.
How about it's an uploaded intelligence? Because I really like this whole uploaded intelligence. I think AI is gay now.
Like
AI
because
is
we've
stupid
uploaded too
and
much gay
gay.
stuff.
No,
Oh,
what you need,
gay as in homosexual or gay as in stupid?
I think everybody in
Yes.
the world knows what somebody is saying when they say something's gay.
Well,
This is me.
well, I thought when you first said it, I thought you actually meant that it's like it's gay because of all the gay stuff online and everywhere all over the internet, that it's absorbing so much stuff that it's like
Turning
Jesus
gay.
Christ, Zach, stop asking me these questions. I don't
No, because
understand.
this thing likes truth. So it's not gonna be like that. But
Yeah, no.
uh what
But
were
you
we
don't
talking
like
about?
AI anymore because you said
Oh yeah,
AI's
AI is
AI's
gay.
dumb and gay.
It's stupid. It's uploaded intelligence. That's I'm telling you. Like, remember We Are
Yeah.
Bob? I showed you We Are Bob.
Yeah.
That's an uploaded intelligence. And
Hmm.
you see what that
So
means.
it's a person,
Yeah,
or it's like Mickey
it's
17's like memory gets uploaded to the new clone every time.
yeah, but that was a gay movie too.
Oh,
I
dude, I liked that movie.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was so bad. I was so excited for it too. I was like, this is gonna be fucking sick. And then it was so bad.
Oh, see, I liked it because I felt like whenever he would die and suffer and just in so much pain and then be born again, and like I'm under the impression that if if I were to upload my intelligence and I die, that's not me, it's a copy of me. And so like that's the
Mm.
impression, that's my belief,
Do you
I
believe in the
think.
multiverse?
Well, I also, yes, I think I
Well,
do.
then
But I also
that
have been
exact
thinking that,
you, that
yeah.
exact you from the parallel universe, if you
Hmm.
saw your dad in a version of that universe, would you not know that as your dad? Like that is him, and
Well,
that is
yes,
you. So every time you die, yes, but you get brought
but
back.
if two, but the
It's only
points
your
that like,
conscious frequency. It's only that. That is you. So as long as that's getting
yes, so
there or
but what?
uploaded into the computer, it's you.
Mhm.
You know.
So but then what happened in the movie was two of him was alive at the same time. So one, he was only experiencing one of him. He didn't even realize the second one was made, which means that version of him was a copy. And that was the whole like turning point for him. Was he was like, when I at first it was just I died, like I went to sleep and then I woke
And
up
that's
and it was
another
me
thing
again. But
too.
now
Yeah, about it.
but
I
now
didn't
you're
really
a
like.
different person. I
Yeah,
see that part of me
that's the part
made
I
me
didn't
feel
like.
like excess. That part of me made me feel emotions. I was just like,
I
oh
don't
my
think
god, what's
that would
gonna happen when I
happen
die?
though. I don't think there would be. You could do different things, but you wouldn't be a different person. Like how they were different people, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's not how that shit. Maybe clones, because clones could
yeah.
be. The technology is not as good or something like along those lines, but parallel universes and uploaded intelligence and shit like that. That is the thing, you know.
Well, even in the Bob verse, Bob clones himself, and then he's not conscious in his other version. He's
They're
like,
making a
that's a
story out of
different
it,
version
though.
of me.
Yeah, but they're
I
making a
know,
story
but
out
so
of
is
it.
Mickey
The
17. Mickey
science
17
of
is a
it,
story too.
the science of it would be there exact, and also
I
to
don't know.
get
I just
to
agree to
give
disagree,
that
but
to
that does.
give that a point, it was a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. That it was
Yeah.
copies of copies. The real one, only made like two, I think, copies of
Hmm.
himself. And then fucking everybody else made
Um.
copies of themselves, and then those copies made copies. So if if one number is off out of the 1,500 billion fucking lines of code in his fucking code, then it's different, and then that gets
Yeah.
copied, and that difference now offshoots the entire line of code, and it's just different, 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 all the way down now. So that's not the exact
Yeah.
same thing we're talking about.
It's like cancer.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, let's get back to the story and like start trying to develop
Yeah. Okay.
this artifact,
But
this observer. So what you're saying is you want it to be an uploaded intelligence, as if
I think
so
that would be
it
good.
what whoever
Of this
whoever
original
created
guy.
it,
Yeah.
yeah,
And maybe
he
we
like
even
uploaded
put
himself.
something. Yeah, upload, like the thing it's made out of was. I'm imagining where it comes from is a grand, even grander than our civilization that we have going on right now, existed like 30 or 40,000 years ago, or something along those lines. Everything was different and built on the shores, now covered by
Hmm.
400 feet of water after 1,350 years ago, fucking 400 feet of water, something along these
Mm-hmm.
lines. And so he's uploaded into that. It's made out of this thing that lasts that entire fucking amount of time. It was designed like it was like this job was sanctioned by like the ruler or something like that.
Hmm.
So this is like divine for him, to do this. This is like
Hmm.
a calling. This isn't like he was. trapped or like it was an accident. Like he's doing this on purpose. There's no like animosity or whatever about him being this device now. You know,
So what happens? How does the device get lost? He uploads his consciousness and
asteroid hits the
his
planet.
okay. So are we gonna? We're not gonna maybe show that.
No,
Like,
no.
are we
All
gonna?
this is it's all talking like the man from Earth, dude. So like
Okay, okay, okay.
when you remember it, you don't remember them talking about it in a room. You remember what you're imaging in your head when they're talking about it, like the man from Earth. I when he's talking about the man from Brussels that he
Hmm.
sees that I thought I saw him again in Brussels, and then he got away with the
Hmm.
crowd, and the girl's like, "Oh, that's so sad." Like I don't imagine that scene of him saying, and then I saw like the shot of him. I imagine him being in Brussels and thinking he sees the guy, and he gets
Yeah,
away.
because it's good storytelling. It's good
Yeah.
storytelling. You
So
you
that's what
picture it in
we're
your head
doing
like you're
here.
reading a book.
Yeah, and like we're gonna do,
Okay.
like I keep thinking about like how we're going to translate and shit, and he's got it like not
Well,
kind of
it's such.
how to do it. Like he'd be like, "All right, can you see me?" or something like that, and then it'd be like he'll take like this is, and then this is, and then he'll go like uh da 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 a question, and then it'll make like a noise like that, and be like, "All right." So he's playing like 21 questions or something like that, you know?
So you're saying that the like in the beginning when he first finds it, it can't speak English or understand. It's just like he's
Hmm.
trying to interact with it, but then eventually it learns English and it has a personality and it can speak, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking like it at first is making noises, like whatever.
Well, I
Like
would
it
imagine that it
needs
could speak
power.
the.
Like it
Yeah,
has
so
to power up.
that's
It's
one
been
thing.
underground, so it's like out of power. And I'm thinking maybe
So
it's
how
like
does it get power?
I don't know, just solar power or something like that. Maybe it
Or what
reacts to
about
oxygen in the atmosphere, and that
well, what about
makes it or
magnetic? What
something.
about magnetic power? What about like
Then it would be
because the
powered
guy
underground too.
well, if it was solar power, yeah, it was underground, but as soon as it reaches up, it's and he finds it at the beach, right? So it's like the sun is hitting
Well,
it, so
I
it
don't
should
know.
have
I
some
don't know
power.
where he finds it. I
Um,
haven't thought of that. I'm just thinking about like how it could be so easy to film, very interesting of a story. We get to put super cool lore and just like cool things that people want to hear in a movie. We get to have this thing confirm those things and see that in a movie. And it's I don't know, it could
no,
be
I
like this big grand thing at the end too. Like I was saying with like the DMT trip. Like he says like, this is how I or
ooh
oh,
yes,
you see where
okay,
I'm going with that? He wants to
yeah,
become
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And he's like, this is what I did, and then he becomes one.
Oh, so his goal, so the main character's goal is to actually become one of these
Maybe
things.
he's a
Does it? Maybe
programmer.
he figures a way. Maybe he figures out a way to upload his conscious into the artifact itself and kind of like
Oh
merge
no.
with the
I know what we're
or
doing.
replace or
He
okay. Tell
he's a
me, tell me.
programmer. He's a programmer, and he's trying to figure out a thing with artificial intelligence. And or no, no,
And he can't figure it out.
maybe actually that might be too on the nose with it. Oh, he just happens to find an uploaded intelligence, and he's working on artificial. But then again, there are a lot of people working on artificial intelligence right now, and that is a big thing. Or
Okay, well, keep going. If
at any rate, uh, he wants to turn what he was able to do into this device, because this device, he had to make this. There was no like internet in this civilization that they had. We have the internet
Mhm.
and all this shit now. Like, so he's like, can I upload my consciousness into the internet? And he becomes like this internet god at the end,
Hmm.
like with unlimited internet power. because you know what that means. Like if he's connected to the internet and some machine over there is connected to the internet, he could just and like that's what I mean about these uploaded intelligences. You overclock your fucking shit. So now 1 second for you is like the Planck
Yeah.
length of time for these people. So like, put it the other way, a day goes by for in normal time, and that was 15 years for you. So you
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
completely mastered a thing. In a and yet you did that with not needing sleep, not needing food, not needing rest. You could turn off your focus, like literally digitally turn off your focus to be like, I am only doing this for 15 days straight, and like that. Fucking, you don't get angry. There's no like
Yeah.
you're not getting like you get hungry and you start getting angry and you can't think and shit like that. Like all the bodily shit that happens, there's no adrenaline. You can't like think unclearly when something crazy happens, you know? There's none of that shit
So
going on anymore. So now you're just like
I
super smart. So now he goes into the internet and he's within a day of him being in the internet, he's 100 years older and a trillion times wiser. Never will he ever forget anything anymore. His memory is now digital, instantly capable of being fucking faster than human not memory can be gotten, too. And he never forgets anything. Every single line of speech, every single thing he experiences is all photo realistic now.
Yeah, but so you're saying that that's going to be the end of the film
That's his
is the
goal.
man
When
that's
yeah,
his goal.
that's when he realizes what this thing like maybe it's held off until like halfway into the end or something to where he was a human first and then put himself into this and he's like, "Wait a minute, can I just do this and like maybe do it with the internet?" Remember,
So what
this is so low budget we could do this. So this story could be about literally as deep AI fucking science fiction shit that we could ever go that like other studios would never reach this far. They'd be like, our viewers won't understand that. And it's like, well, we will, so we're gonna make that movie for people that will understand it.
All right, I'm on board. It's like to make it's going to be a smart movie. It's gonna not going to hold the audience's hand, and so. But what I'm thinking is like also like you're saying the practicality of it. Like that wouldn't be hard to end with like a close up of the actor's face, like and then like the eyes go, and then like we see him be uploaded into the internet. Like the climax of the film is them together figuring out how to repeat this process. But however, I think
Oh, maybe that's one way maybe because like the thing is like I don't want to teach you how to do this. And he's like, listen, I will make a pact with you that it will be unbreakable. That if you do this for me, I am now connected to the internet. We will figure out some language for quick uh, data transfer.
mm,
And now that I'm connected to the internet, I have all of human knowledge that's ever been known, all the gaps that you're missing in your record. Be like, I will spout the internet to you in the fullest, and you will have so much data that you will not know what to do with. You have more data than you ever thought possible that you could ever have. And he's like, all
okay,
right, I'll teach you how to do it.
all right,
Because
hear me out.
it benefits both of
What
them.
if
It's a win-win, and that's how AIs work,
so
win-wins and shit.
so so this AI is unemotional and it's logical and it wants to
Still wants,
learn as much knowledge as possible.
yes,
It still wants because
yes,
it's been
still wants,
programmed to have this desire. Um,
yes,
so so it's first of all, let me go through my whole thought process. It
all
gets
right,
found, it's dead. Then somehow it gets charged, and then it can
yes,
only communicate through like flashes, right? And in the beginning, and
at
then
first,
eventually it At first. Eventually, because it's a super intelligence, it learns English, and now its personality comes out, and you learn about its origin and the maker of it, and you learn about its goal, and then the main character tells it about the internet because it doesn't know about the internet because for this whole time it's been buried. And he's like, "What do you mean a connection of computers?"
What happened then? And he's like, "I don't know. Look it up on the internet. What's the internet?"
It's like, "What's the internet?" Like it's a library of knowledge, and that's exactly what he is. And so now the artifact's goal at that moment becomes, I need to upload myself to the internet, and you're going to help me because you're in the physical world. So
and it's trying, and it can't because of the nature of how it was made and the nature of the way the internet works now. It can't, like, it's like two dicks trying to make a child. You know, it just doesn't work.
Great analogy. Well, I was thinking, and I actually really like that what you just said about the dicks. No, so initially I was thinking the whole movie, its goal is to upload itself to the internet, but our human
is scared
because he's human. At the very end and climax, he figures out, instead of uploading the consciousness, he's like, I want to be the one who gets uploaded, and he slips in and uploads himself instead. So he's like he's helping, and they're helping each other, and that'll cause conflict.
Like that. I mean, I would do that. I think almost any rational person that would that really understands the implications of uploading yourself to the internet would try to do that. I don't think that's a dick move.
Yeah.
I think that's completely, like, that's almost like a guy's coming at you, and
it's human nature.
You have a knife, and or he has a knife and you have a gun, like, you shoot him. Like, I don't want to die.
Well, also,
what can I say?
Yeah. Also, human nature is to survive, like you said. So, I mean, think about it like this: you and me, we're both mortal right now, and one of us has a chance to become immortal. I'm not going to just be human nature. I'm not going to be like, you know what? You be immortal, I'll die. I'm going to be like, yo, fuck you. I'm going to be immortal. You know what I mean? And so it's instinctual for him. But I also like the idea, like, if we go in a different direction, what you're saying is maybe they really do try, and we find out because it's a different frequency. So
he might be like, I don't even know, like, are you gonna fuck our shit? And he's like, fuck our shit? I don't understand that yet. Or I don't know.
I don't understand this language.
I don't really like that. I hate it when movies do that, but that's what came to my head right there. But, like, you know.
So they're trying to. They figure out they're going to work together. They're going to try to connect this thing to the internet, but he can't. So his bridge is, okay, well, maybe I can figure out a way to upload you to the internet, and then we can meet in the middle somehow.
Yes.
And then the human's like, wait a second, maybe he doesn't want that at first. And then he realizes that it means he's going to become immortal, and he changes his mind. And then at the very end, he uploads himself, and then we have to figure out a way that they can connect and, like, exchange knowledge that way. And now they're both immortal, and then it ends where it's like just a win-win, like you said, a win-win scenario. It's almost like a happy ending. They're both immortal.
I wonder, would sexual drive wouldn't be existent anymore because that's biological.
If you were a computer,
uploaded,
you probably wouldn't have a sexual drive.
So, like, that would be the biggest thing for me, would be like, I would have no sexual drive. I wouldn't be able to reproduce or anything like that. And then he would be like, well, you know, you don't have those functions anymore. You literally, you still would require or seek out a companion, you know, like a separate mind to converse with.
Yeah.
But, like, the biological need for that isn't there anymore. But the mental connection is still needed there.
Okay, yeah. So that could be part of their arguments.
I'm thinking of concepts or points of conversation in these scenes, you know, exactly, and how we're gonna do them and shit like that.
And so the final climax is, like, has to have some type of conflict, and it could just be between the two of them, and then it ends up. So we have to figure out how they're going to connect their intelligences in order to do this, in order to, like, become. And then maybe we show the final scene is what he now experiences inside the computer. Like maybe we make it like he all of a sudden it's like he gets uploaded and now he's in a white void like in the Matrix, or a black void, and then he's like, what is this place? And all of a sudden he hears the voice of the artifact saying like, you made it, like it worked. And then he turns and he sees like the avatar of the artifact, what he looked like when he was a human, and then it's our main character, what he looked like. And
I already
I
thought
don't
of
know.
this since we talked about it. I was thinking
Tell me.
it's like we're in like a room like mine, and fucking he's like on the table, the device, and whatever happens, he's uploaded after this ritual, and like his computer's right there and has like a webcam on top, and it's like,
Mm.
and he's like, oh, I could see you, I could see everything. And like I just saw an accident, and like because he's like connected to like a street light or a camera or something. He's like,
Mm.
I'm seeing everything, and it like sort of freaks him out. And like, but the guy will be like, "Fucking,
Hmm.
you have info, like, or I don't know, like fucking." But like, I'm thinking about how, okay, so he's in the internet now, he's bodiless, voidless, and shit like in a void and shit like that. So he doesn't know anything. So the first thing you do is you download every single book and everything there is to know about coding. Boom, you downloaded it in 5 seconds, and now you have all God knowledge of fucking coding with the inability to forget it. So you instantaneously code up a simulation world and give yourself a body, you know? And you
Yeah.
fucking and you learn you now have this fucking body and everything in which, and you fucking do all these things, maybe even you could be low fucking realizing where you are, and make yourself a desk with a laptop, and you do all your work on a laptop like that, not realizing that you
So,
could just
but
go and make your entire
yeah.
body into fingers that just goes everywhere and just touches everything you need. And you need to do that. You could just like and like fucking project your code knowledge that you want, and fucking it just makes the internet like.
Well, so, but here's where you're losing me, because I understand, like I can picture all of this in my head too,
Well,
but
that's
like,
not going
is
to be in
this
the
part?
movie. Seeing that.
I was gonna yes, okay, good. I was gonna say, is this gonna be
Yeah.
part of the film?
No,
I
no.
think
I'm just saying the
the final
implications.
climax
Like,
of the film,
yeah,
good.
that's
The
what I mean
final
about like
climax
the
of the film
hard
should be,
sci-fi this is going to be. This is like the
yes, I
implications of
agree.
everything, you know? Very
But the
hard
final climax of
sci-fi
the film
without
should be,
big budget stuff going on, you know? All
and the
concept
stakes are
shit.
high too.
Yeah.
And the stakes are high, but the final climax should be them being successful in uploading and connecting, and then
Mm-hmm.
we like, yeah, the sky's the limit till that, like we can make another one if we get more budget, we can make number 2 or whatever, but
In
that
the
is the
internet.
end of the
Yeah.
film. Yeah, exactly. But so how are they going to connect those? Where I'm losing it is like, to maybe maybe that's,
why he's able to be in the internet and connect with him if they're unconnectable.
yes, correct.
That's what I was saying, is that he's going to be like,
Maybe he
okay,
makes,
now he's in the internet. He learned coding. He learned all that. He learned everything. He made himself a world, and he's in his computer, or he's in the internet, but focusing on his computer where the device is right here. He has speakers and a fucking webcam thing. He just downloaded all the information. Now he just downloads all the information of all fucking languages, and then he comprises an artificial language that is for streamlining data. There's no emotion,
well,
there's no ums, there's no end, there's no is. It's just brrr and data. So then the ending would just be, it would be funny, an ending, but for a hard sci-fi, you went to see a hard sci-fi. So this is the perfect ending. Is the device right here and the computer right there, and it just slowly fucking backs up, and you're just watching it as the computer and the speakers are just going like making all this crazy noise, and fucking it's just saying it to the device, and it's just going back like 15-20 seconds of just that. this crazy noise
So
coming from the speakers, and that's him. You know, he's giving them fucking all the information from the internet now.
let me pitch an alternate, like, because that makes sense to me that, like, okay, the artifact, its goal is to absorb all the information on the internet. It could happen in a split second through this thing, and then,
Well, it would still take
but
days,
then,
I think, but yeah.
okay, but how about this? Once our main character is uploaded to the internet, it acts like we have this final climax of a scene, this act 3, where, like you said, he's like, I'm finally free. I have unlimited power. So he accesses like the factory at Tesla, and he like 3D prints a Tesla body, and he specifically makes an insert for the
Yeah, but we can't
artifact
film
to be
that.
able to get. What do you mean?
We can't film
Oh,
that.
we could do that part with AI.
Yeah, but it might be better to not do that if we can't do it good, and just end it with hard
Okay.
sci-fi shit. But that could be in the second movie, where he's like, it literally, the second movie starts with zooming in, and he's like, and then it'd be like 4 days later or something like that, and it's like, and then the fucking ancient device will be like, all right, yeah, I need a break or something, or oh, okay, that's everything. I don't know what to say. This is I have to I have to think about this or something. I have to comprehend what I just did or anything. But then the movie could then go off and focus with him, and it could all, like, the entire movie could take place in like 4 hours, but fucking it could be 3 years of time for him on the internet, you know, and it could be a sick
Mm-hmm.
fucking movie, you know, about like living in the internet and affecting the world and being like, maybe for a couple of years, you know, 3 days for him or something, like for the
Yeah.
outside world, he's like, you know, I was just hunting down fucking jihadists, or I was just hunting down cartel members and spamming their information everywhere. I was just helping the world. And then, you know, I realized that wasn't going anywhere. And it was like people were covering tracks, and it was like, that's a thing that's supposed to be happening. Like, he started realizing that, oh, that's what we do. The second movie is, instead of being focused with the first movie about like ancient times and philosophy and all this crazy shit that the first movie is going to be about, the second movie could be about him discovering all the information that's on like hard drives and everything, data, fucking government files, and it could be conspiracy and crazy shit, you know.
Hmm. I like this idea. I'm just like, I'm getting caught up on like the main, like, climax of
Remember
if the
Primer?
goal. Yeah, that was a good movie. That was a good
But
movie.
there was like, what were the stakes in that movie? And it was a short one too. I think it was like 70 minutes long, right? The movie.
Well, so it just, to me, okay, here, this is, it's not the stakes that's getting me caught up. It's that just doesn't seem like a good plan for these intelligent people. Like, okay, great, I'll just go into the internet, and then we'll just communicate. Like, that to me is like pretty prime, like primeval. Like, it's not, it doesn't, because then all of a sudden,
Primeval,
what if it's like, it's
primitive.
primitive, right? Yeah.
Well,
so
I
so
mean,
like, well, hold on, let me finish, because like, if they can't get connected, he gets uploaded into the internet, and then they have to communicate back and forth like this. And then, like, what
it's
if
all going one
what
way.
if
He
the
doesn't need to.
artifact, what if the artifact falls off of the thing, or what if there's a power
No,
outage and then they lose access to each other? Like, it doesn't make sense to upload yourself to the internet
he's
if
on
you're
the
not actually being
internet.
connected.
He's on. If the power goes out for a block, he's on the internet. He could send emails to the mayor of the town that are read or come from the president, saying, if you don't get this fucking shit for back, we have agents here for national security. You have 20 minutes to get the fucking power back here and make sure that this room is working. You know, if you don't get this room working in 20 minutes with power, you are going to jail. and that's like a message from the the president, or fucking maybe he finds out that like he's corrupt and he's like, if you don't do it, like get this shit going. You know what I'm saying? He's connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Anything like that, and then he'd be like, if anybody ever goes into this apartment, you everything you've ever done is going to be plastered across the internet. You're going to jail for fucking life. So there's literally like it's a new post, for the police department, standing outside that door. There's a guy standing outside that door at all times forever because he's in control
I
of the
just feel
internet.
like there would be a different solution. Like instead of uploading yourself to the internet so that you can communicate with a third party artifact, why not just design an AI to do that for him? Like tell an AI to do it instead of uploading yourself to it.
Isn't this device designing an AI to do just that by making him upload himself onto the internet to do just that?
Maybe it reveals that an artificial general intelligence cannot be made artificially. The only way you can have an AGI is if you upload it. And so that's why maybe that's one of the solutions. He's like, well, why don't we just code an AI to find all of this information and communicate it to you? And he's like, that's too primitive. I need a real conscious being to be able to do that.
He doesn't know this stuff. He didn't have computers to know what an AI is. And he's not connected or knows enough about the internet to but then like these are we're thinking too much, because like maybe the movie doesn't go here. Like
wait a second, I have an idea.
Well, okay, go, because mine is just like a scene.
Okay, I have an idea. This is what's found out. There is a way to connect the artifacts to the internet, but whoa, did your phone die?
No.
Oh, I just want to make sure.
I don't see the Wi-Fi working and your low resolution. I was wondering why.
Yeah, you're pretty low res too, but yours is 99% uploaded, so I'm getting the full res version recorded. Yeah, so perfect.
Apparently.
Okay, so they attempt to police. So they attempt to they figure out a way to plug in the artifacts to the internet, but the artifact can't get any information from the internet. It can only share information to the internet. So it's like, well,
now you're making up MacGuffins and stuff like that. Like, why is that?
Because
they
you
can connect him. I'm imagining he doesn't have a USB.
It can only write.
He has
no obviously USB it doesn't have a USB.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So how are you going to upload him to the internet, and then also, for some reason that we're making up, he can only do it one way? Doesn't make sense. It's way
okay. So
I'm saying we can still change it, but that's not. I don't think that's the reason.
All right, then let me. Okay, so if that's not the reason, he can't. But the conclusion is, if I can't get the information that I need from the internet, then my journey, essentially, like my journey ends here, and I need to.
He'd be like in a quagmire. It's like now he can only learn through experience and the slow progression of speech. One word at a time.
Well, hold on. So let me finish my thought. Thought. The artifacts decides that instead of me moving on and up and learning about the internet, what's got to happen is you are going to take over my job from here on out, and you're going to be the one who has all the knowledge. You're going to become the observer, and then the artifacts then helps him upload his consciousness, and then they figure out a way together to get all the information on the artifact into the internet. And now this man is the internet, essentially. And the artifacts, like maybe the final scene is the light dims and goes out.
You're saying put his personality into the internet?
Yes.
Like the artifacts?
No,
instead of teaching him the internet, try to make him go into the internet.
Yes.
I kind of like
I
that
think
too.
I think that would be a better climax because then like I said, maybe maybe the humans like I want to come too, and he allows them to upload himself or something. But maybe the entire conflict of the film is trying to figure out how to upload the artifact into the internet, and then they succeed at the end.
Well, no, not the whole thing. Like, because that okay. Now I'll tell you my scene. I was thinking,
Okay.
like, they end up. This is after the whole scene of trying to figure out how to communicate to each other. They now know how to communicate to each other, and he's like saying something, and he's like, "Oh, it's like this movie," and he's like, "What movie?" Like, I don't know what that
Mm.
I don't know what that word means yet. You haven't given me a definition of that word. He's like, "No, you could see, right?" Yeah. Here, and he puts him right here in front of the TV, and he's like, "We're gonna watch this fucking movie." They're watching the movie, and like the thing is like blown away, you know. But then at the end of the
Hmm.
movie, he'll be like, yeah, I have so many questions or something like that. He's like, "What's the internet?" And then he'll be like, "Oh, you have to see the internet." And like that's what I mean, like hard sci-fi, awesome shit that everybody really like. These are the scenes that people want to see. You know, so
Yeah.
give them those scenes, but make them grounded in reality. Just don't give them the scenes with like, here's the scenes, blah, like liberally. Like, fuck, no, it has to be grounded in
Yeah.
reality and make sense. But like, so then he takes them to the internet, and then that's what sparks the I.
I
So
have to
all the
connect to the
information's in
internet.
there. I need. How do I connect into the? I need to be able to do something, and he can't affect keyboard typing. There's no plugs for him, so he has to. Now they're trying to figure out how to get him into the internet. That's
So
where it
what if
comes
they
from.
build
That'll be like halfway
what
into
if
it.
exactly, that's like the halfway point. So
Yeah,
what if they find out like what if they figure out what the maybe the neural net that's holding him is like some type of a crystal, and if they
definitely
can connect
Crystal,
that, if they can like
like the
find the same
universe.
material, yeah. And if they can find the same material somewhere, they can not plug him in, but like place him onto a crystal like bowl, which then can get plugged into the computer or access the computer through some type of neural link of some sort.
Piezoelectric connection.
Yeah, and we can just build something or get something from like a thrift shop that looks like it could actually like or whatever. It could be something really small that we
Yo,
create that's
maybe
a
it's not
prop.
even a fucking crazy device. Maybe it's like
What is it?
we just go and get like a like a
It's
pink
like a
salt
marble.
rock crystal fucking lamp, thing, and he finds it and the metal detector's going off, and that's like the thing that's like weird about it. He's like,
Yeah,
it's fucking salt. Why is it going off? And he takes it and it's just fucking weird. He puts it in his. He's like, it looks cool. It is weird. I'll figure out what it is, and puts it in his house or something, and now it's getting maybe by the window or something, and now it's getting
yeah.
powered slowly, and then it starts making noises like, what the
It
fuck was
starts
that?
glowing.
Yeah, and it does
Maybe
or something along those lines. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So, and that's the spark that made the entire thing
yeah,
possible, is that he's going with a metal detector, and it's going off on a salt rock, and he's like,
yeah.
why is that happening? You know?
And because it's metal, because it's actually made of metal or some type of alloy that they can
Yeah,
figure out
well, we
how
don't
to
know.
get
He
it.
could make up shit.
Yeah.
We make it up, and I'll do actual research on like alchemy and fucking like
Mm.
Isaac Newton or whatever, and see what he said.
Ooh.
Some sort of shit. Then like I'll ground it in reality, like some sort of thing like that, like I always do.
Yes.
Because if it
I love.
isn't,
Yeah.
then you're making fantasy, and I'm not a fan of fantasy, unless the
Yeah. I
fantasy
like
is
hard sci-fi.
grounded in some sort of esoteric fucking religion that has laws.
Yeah.
There
I
needs to be
prefer a
laws. I don't
hard
like
sci-fi,
non-laws, and I don't like plot holes. I don't like any of that shit.
like Star Wars.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So then the climax of the film then is they actually figure it out. They build the thing and then they connect him and he uploads himself into the internet. And then
Yeah.
the crystal like maybe
No,
dies
the,
because
the
it like,
crystal. Oh yeah, the crystal. Not he in the internet. The crystal isn't.
No,
now
the
in
crystal
internet.
goes into the internet, and then the
Yeah.
crystal dies because his consciousness is left and is in the internet now.
Do
And
you
then,
think he looks at the crystal at the end and is like,
like, that's what I was in?
no, no, no,
Oh, who?
him, the guy, and looks at it
Oh.
like, can
Hmm.
I do that too? Like hint,
That could
maybe
be
just
like
a
a
little.
cool cliffhanger.
Yeah, like the spinning top at the end of
Yeah.
Inception, which that I want on record that I don't like that movie. But that ending of hmm, that ending,
Hmm.
that right
Hmm.
there, like he looks at
And
the
then cut to
crystal, and
black.
yeah, he looks at the crystal for a second longer than you think. Like he looks at it and doesn't turn his head, like go like
Hmm.
he doesn't do that. He goes cut,
And
you
then
know,
cut. Yeah, I like that. It was like, yeah, that's a cool like little cliffhanger. Imply that maybe there's more to the story.
or maybe he's yeah,
And
exactly. He's gonna try and do it, or maybe that the movie picks up the second one right where that left off, and he's trying to get on the internet or something like that. But
okay,
like, okay, so now we know the general shit. Like,
what
this
about the
is
personality? You wanted to know what
yeah.
his personality because are the interactions going to be? Are they going to be? Maybe I think that he could be sarcastic and we can have like this buddy cop kind of like
I
comedic
was just
like
thinking
dialogue.
buddy film. like like for
They
for
end
a
up becoming
moment,
friends.
for a moment. It's not like the whole
Yeah,
movie buddy, but like they'll have that moment of like our in Neighborhood Watch. It has the moment of fucking Home Alone in there. It's only like five
yeah,
minutes long, but that moment, I want that moment of like a buddy, like they're watching movies. He's like, dude, this. Oh, look at these things that we got. Oh, I'm gonna show you everything. I can't wait. Oh, dude, we're gonna go
yeah.
on a plane. And he'd be like, and then they'll talk, and he'd be like, oh, flying. Oh, you're talking about flying fucking shit, sky vehicles in your language, or something like that. Yeah, we had those too. Like yours are good though. Yours are good. I like yours. Ours are good too.
Hmm.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, and he could do things too. Like in the
Yeah,
buddy
it's
section, like he'd be like, all right, can you kind of show me what like things look like? And he'll like go to Chat GPT or something. He's like, what you got to I'll press speak. What you got to do is describe in words what your world looked like, and then he presses speak and he says something, and then the prompt comes up and it shows an image, and he's like change this, blah, 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 and then it'd be like that's pretty much what our world looked like, and then we see
hmm.
it and it's fucking crazy, like cool sci-fi shit,
Yeah, dude. Okay, and then
all the
so then
buddy shit. Yeah.
that'll set up that like in the beginning it's like this is weird and then they like form this
Hmm.
connection and then they consider themselves like friends at the end, so when the crystal leaves the man can be like, see so long buddy, like, and then all
All
of a
right.
sudden like you hear from the
So
Alexa like I'm not gone, I'm still here. It's like, oh, what the fuck. Like,
so kind of the feelings are gonna be uh uh
mystery in the beginning
yeah.
and then like a
Well,
sense of
I
awe
was
and
thinking not mystery, but like um detective. Detective the beginning,
yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
And then buddy, and then it's got to be
And then maybe it gets like intense at the end. Maybe
yeah.
like we
Maybe
could bring in a
because of the
third
knowledge
person,
and the
like an
things that he
agent.
says, maybe the guy's like either
He gets
questioning
triggered
like
because he
maybe I
starts
shouldn't put
searching.
you in the internet, or maybe he's like, dude, you're worth a lot of money to me, or maybe he's like, dude,
Mm,
fucking you could settle disputes and you're worth a lot to the world, or instead, or we could have
ooh,
that
that's like that
moment.
false
Yeah,
ending.
we could have that moment
That
where it's like the guy is actually like he kind of wakes up from the buddy and is like, wait a minute, all right, this has like real implications, like maybe he wakes up like they got
The
drunk together or
implications.
something, and he's like, he wakes up and he's like hungover and he's really thinking about it now, and he's like, actually, this is really fucking crazy. Like, you're from the past, you're an actual fucking like uploaded intelligence. I'm talking to you. You're like a solid structure from like 60,000 years ago, like, and I'm in my apartment. Like, I need to tell the world needs to know about you or something. Like, I can't be doing this. And he's like, I can't
So
just
maybe he
upload you into
gets
the
some type of
internet. Like, you
value.
have to be known to have existed, you know? This changes
Well, maybe he
everything.
starts.
And then
Maybe
like
he gets some type of
that's that
value
whole
from it.
conflict. And then the ending is overcoming the new conflict that they can, like, at the end of the conflict they decide what they're going to do together. And then the ending
It's almost
part
like
is
Aladdin and the
overcoming the
genie.
conflict for them to do their plan, and then the plan gets done.
So what's the value that he can, maybe because of the knowledge that the artifact has, he learns something and then he's able to generate some type of a wealth in the real world, like while he's at work or something, or he figures something out through, and then he's like, I can't let this thing go. I'm rich now. Like, look at all of this. Like, I can gain so much
An
power.
archaeological site. He puts on a Reddit thing, or something along those lines, and like, it was, maybe that's one way that he knows like he's telling the truth. He puts out a thing, and then he sees in the news later that this thing was discovered and it's real, and he's like, oh my god. And they're like, yeah,
Wait a second.
and inside was this much gold or something, and he's like, ah, that could have been my gold. I should have. Okay, all right, he's worth something to me, you know. That's that moment.
What if he goes on a Reddit forum when he first finds it before it wakes up? He takes a picture of it and it's like, "Hey, I found this at the beach. Does anyone know? Is it valuable?"
Yeah, like,
and then
like
there's
a
guy who
metal
responds.
detector forum.
Yeah,
Hey, I found
and a
this.
guy,
It's weird.
and like,
Have anybody else seen this?
and then silent, like we set that up in the beginning, and then at the very, like, not the very end, but like the conflict that changes him, that halfway point, is someone, he like gets a notification, someone responded and is like, I will give you $5 million for that right now. Meet me at this place. And now he's like, what? After he formed a friendship with it, now he all of a sudden gets offered a bunch of money.
Is he talking about how it's talking, or is this the old post?
No.
Like, he's like,
it's
hey,
an old
I found
post.
this.
He doesn't
the
go
metal
back on it.
detector was going off. It looks like salt to me. Has anybody seen this before? In the metal detecting forum, you know?
Yeah.
And then like
somebody,
a week goes
somebody's
by.
on there who's like an architect, who's like an ancient architect. He's like, oh my god, he found it. Somebody found, and then he offers like a lot of money. Maybe not 5 million.
Let's
but like,
say you found
he found one. Ooh.
Yeah.
And now
more. Meaning more.
Now it brings in this outside conflict
more
too.
More lore.
Yeah, more lore. And so we only have 3 actors in this whole film, and it takes place 90% in the guy's apartment, maybe at his work and at the beach. And that's like it.
Who's the other actor?
The guy on the forum. Maybe we have him show up at the climax of the film right before they upload him to give it a little bit more. Yeah, to give it a little bit more. He's like, you're not going to meet me, then I'm going to come take it from you. That's how valuable it is to me. And then they have to, now the main character has to fight this guy in order to save the artifact.
Okay, what if what if we introduce now a second guy halfway into the movie when it starts talking? The guy, when it starts talking, let's just say a week after he posts on his fucking metal detecting community forum, hey, I found this, and the guy says, you found one? Oh my, where are you? I will give you this whatever amount of money to go there.
$200,000.
Yeah. To go there, and I just need to see it with my own eyes, or something along those lines. Like, I don't want this guy to be bad, because I'm thinking we could use him so he shows up, and he's
why can't he be bad? At the very end, he's like, when he figures out that he's not going to get it, he tries to take it. Not like I'm going to kill you and take it, but he's like, I'll take it.
Concepts. I want to make a pure, like,
well, there has to be conflict in the movie in order for it to be interesting.
Paddington Bear.
Yes.
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I know of it. He is the one of the only times in storytelling where he no arcs. He is that thing. It's almost like a Jesus, you know? He goes through no arcs. The people around him do.
So yeah, the
Not
artifact
this.
is not
I'm
going to go
not
through an
saying
arc.
that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that concept to a character not having an arc and these other things. Let's do that with hard sci-fi. Let's let's make a hard
Oh, okay.
sci-fi like without adding in the cinema shit, but because it'll come naturally. Like people
So
will be
then, okay. So
interested
let me ask you something.
without that conflict, that backstabbing nature in a movie, or like, "Hey, I need it now," and like he tries to stab him in the back, not physically, but you know, without putting that in, we could have them work together without that
Okay,
backstabbing
okay.
nature.
I appreciate that, because then that will subvert the audience's expectations, because when we bring this guy in, he's
They'll be
offering a lot of
expecting
money,
it.
everyone's going to expect him to backstab him and steal it, and he ends up,
Exactly.
he becomes
Being
like,
an awesome
he's like,
dude.
all right. Yeah, and then maybe one
Yeah.
of the scenes at the very end after the crystal's uploaded to the internet is like the guy's on his computer and he gets a DM and it's like, hey Bob, how's it going? And he goes, they did it. And there's like one of the last things, because he now can communicate with him.
Well, I'm actually thinking when he shows up, he knows what's going on. Now he is that thing where, that wasn't a fart roll. That was, he didn't even hear.
Are you,
But even
are
if
you
you want me to
sure?
fart, I will. But um
What were you saying?
yeah, I'm trying to give chaos to my brain so it comes back.
Okay, you just got so
So
embarrassed because you shit your pants.
yeah, I just pooped myself. Uh okay, so he shows up, and he's that thing where it's like, you know how Harry Potter doesn't know shit, so everybody's there to explain it to him.
Yeah,
Kind of like
that's
that.
perfect
I
exposition.
don't want it to be like he's an exposition dumper, because if you're watching this movie, you're going to like, we're not holding your hands. This
Mm-hmm.
is a hard sci-fi. We're not holding your hands. You have to understand the implications, and when they show, we'll show you the implications of this shit, but we're not bridging the gap for you. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
trust me, I in my head will go through the steps and make sure this is possible, following the story, and then when we get there, that's the thing, and they're talking about that. So when this guy shows up, he's going to be explaining what it is for a brief second to basically the crystal. The guy's just there hearing
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's not gonna. We and the guy are not gonna understand everything, and now he's gonna be a part of it. And when the internet thing comes up, because I'm thinking this will be like maybe right after Buddy Buddy, it becomes real. The guy shows up,
Yeah.
and this is now a real thing, and he's gonna help it. Now he's a part of the story from here on out. He's gonna help it go onto the internet. And like the guy might fucking be like, these two are doing something against, like, they have their own plans. And that's where like the thing could come in, but in the end, he was just wrong in being suspicious. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody is actually a good person in this movie. Everybody in this movie is going to be a good person in this movie.
I like that. I like that. All right, so
Yeah,
let's.
we
I
could get
only
all the
have a little
conflict, we
bit
could
more
have the
time.
hardships, we could have everything without anybody being evil.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's write down some of these beats then, and that way we have a beat sheet to go over next time we jump on tomorrow night, and like we can then jump in and just start fleshing it out.
Can't tomorrow night. That's actually when I'm working. I could do it in the morning if you can at any time.
maybe, but so let's.
Because I have
Okay,
to go
so
to
here we go.
work at like literally, I have to be at the office at 11 o'clock p.m.
Dang. Oh, for real? Oh, shoot.
It's just the breakdown. We're not building or being there during the day, so I just have to be there to break it down at the end of the party.
Cool. All right, so then let's start with like, what are we calling the man?
John or Manhattan.
No.
That is one of my favorite man names.
Me too.
Is Manhattan. I fucking love that name. I don't know who said it first, but that is like literally my favorite.
We're gonna
name
call him Man for now. We're gonna call him Man and Crystal for now, and then we'll come up with some better names. That I'm gonna lean on you for that, because
is it a girl?
The Crystal. It could be, but I imagine it being a boy, but it's a Crystal, so I'm just gonna call it Crystal.
Well, being a girl,
like,
maybe he's looking for a little bit of companion, and then that could be like sad for him at the end that she's gone because he doesn't have a girlfriend.
That's true.
And that could add a little
bit
of
I
an
like
element.
the buddy. I like the buddy.
I like the buddy. Yeah, the buddy shit is cool.
No, I think you should come up with two names for the man. Come up with a name for somebody who's like a helper, and maybe for the Crystal, come up with a name about like wanting knowledge, and like try to figure something out with that. But anyway,
Hermes.
Man. There you go.
Crystal's name is Hermes.
Man finds
Crystal.
Hermes.
I'll come up with the other two names, or I'll think about it.
You like Hermes, or just?
I do like Hermes, but it might be a little too on the nose. I might change
okay,
so it sounds like it could have been Hermes at one point, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of Atlantis, you say Atlan. My name is Atlan.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like Atlantis?
Yeah.
Instead of Hermes, I'll think of something. Merman. I was thinking Herman. Like instead of Hermes, Herman. But then it made me think of Merman. Herman Merman.
Herman Merman. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so bad. Merman. Because then it would make me think of Merlin. And it's like, that's a different thing. Merlin could work. I mean, as the basis of the idea of the character. But, because I instantly think of Hermes. A library, a speaker of all knowledge, that kind of thing. Like, that's a Hermes, Merlin kind of did that too.
Merlin is of human origin,
Celtic,
though. Like after, but that
Hermes
takes place
is
after
Greek and Middle Eastern or Mediterranean, and Merlin.
We need to come up with some
Celtic,
ancient. We need to come up with some ancient like ancient Egyptian or even before Atlantean like.
Trust me, that's one of the reasons why I was thinking about making this, is because basically it's us being able to make up our own lore and real prehistory and just put it in a movie. You know what I mean?
He posts on a
it's like a cheat code in a movie to talk about the things that you want to talk about. Like literally, the other character is a thing that can't do anything but talk. So and it's from the past. So of course we're going to be talking about cool shit from the past in this movie. It's like a cheat code to be able to do that.
He goes throughout. He goes about his life. The crystal sitting on a shelf on his windowsill. And then
What does he do? What does he do?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Because he has
I
to
keep
work.
imagining this thing. I'd like
him
keeps
to be able to bring the
calling
thing
him
to work.
stupid. Yeah, he like puts it in his
Huh?
pocket or something. I keep thinking that the artifact is gonna continue to say like, "Man, you're not that smart," because he's just a dumb like NPC human, and the artifact knows all information about the
That's
universe.
an angry thing. That you would only
No, it's
call
just an
somebody
observation.
stupid. No, I know. No, maybe in certain cases, but to keep saying it is because you're angry with the person
Yeah.
for not doing something, and anger can only build up enough to manifest if you have emotion.
One day he realizes that it is glowing.
Giving off light or glowing.
Therefore, he examines it again,
He
trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, but these That's what I mean.
No, they're just beats. They're just beats.
How in depth are the beats going?
Not that in depth. He figures out how to communicate with it using taps, clicks, and flashes.
A primitive method to figure out intelligence or something like that. And then once he understands that, that's gonna be a fun scene to write, man. Is gonna be that whole interaction trying to figure out fucking how to talk to him, you know? And then he's gonna come to movies. I mean, movies are gonna be perfect. Once he starts understanding, okay, he'll be like, and then once he realizes he could see also, and then he could use devices. All right, this is the alphabet, and it'll be funny, you know, like buddy in a way, trying to teach. Like, think of like a stoner situation where you're trying to teach somebody something, and it'd be funny. And then he'd be like, I'm just gonna show you this. Like, they might understand it better. And then like movies, and then this, and then that, and then fucking and then he understands the internet, and then the movie. Oh man, this is gonna be a fun movie.
All right. I'm going to have to jump off, but I think I have pretty much everything. And then there's a huge gap of like acts 2 and 3. So let me go over it real quick. Manny finds a crystal at the beach with a metal detector and brings it home. He examines it, realizes he doesn't see any visible metal, so he posts it on a Reddit forum to see if anyone else knows what this thing is. He goes about his life, the crystal's sitting on a shelf in his windowsill. But one day he realizes that it's glowing, so he examines it again, trying to figure out what it is. He figures out how to communicate with it using taps, clicks, flashes, and primitive methods. One day, Manny goes to work and accidentally leaves a podcast on in the background, just playing on a speaker. Crystal basically listens to the podcast all day. When Manny gets home, Crystal can speak and understand English. What do you think of that? Because it's just passively listening.
Yeah, I mean that's good for now. There's a few things like it doesn't have to be at a beach, like, you know, just things like that. But then also like it could be something along the lines where like he understands that it is when he says, you know, this is a hat. I take the hat, I put it on my head. Do I have a hat on my head? Yes or no? Yes is 1 hit, 2 is no hit, or 2 hits is 2 hits, or whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. And like it goes, 2 hits or something like that, and fucking he's like, all right, so it's a real thing doing a real, it's thinking, it knows, it sees, it could do all that shit, and then like he's like, all right, this is cool, and like I would rather, instead of that being in like an accident where like it's like he accidentally learns English, I would rather him teach the English, because it would be, that's a cool scene, because that could go like he could look up like or something, like he like is at work and he's like, I have to fucking talk to this thing, and he like looks up on his phone because he's away from the thing, you know, so he doesn't see the internet right away, and fucking he looks up like ways to like communicate to like foreign tribes, and he watches like a movie or something along these lines, and he does it, but like we do it our own way. And that's a cool...
I agree.
That's like one of those cool fucking things. Like there was a whole Star Trek episode based on Picard trying to figure out and communicate with a species of people that nobody has ever been able to communicate with yet.
Oh yeah, when they had the knife and he's like, Anak, Anak.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love that episode.
That's like that whole premise of trying to talk to somebody you've never met before. That is, I mean, it's not sci-fi, but it is. Like, all sci-fi is happening.
Yeah.
You know, all sci-fi is happening.
Okay, so I made a note that says, like, so I like that. It could be like a 10-minute scene of him trying to teach Crystal how to speak and understand English. And then maybe he then has to go to work.
Well, that's what I mean.
Then maybe, like, after... But listen, because I have to go. The kids are coming in and out, and they're freaking distracting me. But, like, at some point, like, we have the whole scene, like you're saying, but then at some point he could like think, oh, I'm gonna put on Hooked on Phonics on 3 times speed while I'm at work. But like at that point they're communicating in English, but it's still primitive, and he could say, I could help you do it much faster. Let me just put this on while I'll be home in a few hours. And then he leaves, and then when he comes back, it like knows all of English. So that way we can streamline that system.
We can do something
learning,
along those
but we can still have that.
Yeah.
We can still have the learning scene in the beginning of that scene, like you're describing, because I really like that, and it's going to take up screen time. Okay, so
and
then
it's easy. It's basically a guy talking to an inanimate object, and we edit in a fucking voiceover. It's the easiest fucking thing in the world. Oh my god, this is like a cheat code of a movie.
I love it.
You know?
I know. So then after Crystal learns English, they have really cool conversations, and we start to get a glimpse at Crystal's personality. Then Manny finds out what Crystal's goal is, to be an observer and to absorb all knowledge in the universe. But Crystal doesn't know about the internet or movies or anything in the modern world. So Manny excitedly shows Crystal all the cool stuff in the world, and they become buddy-buddy. But then Crystal tells Manny that it needs to upload itself to the internet once it finds out that this is the library of all knowledge on Earth, and then Manny agrees. So then we get Manny then gets a message from the Reddit board from an ancient architect who offers him $100,000 for the crystal. Manny, they're already starting to become friends, so Manny second guesses his friendship because he could really use the money. He starts to think that he wants the money more than he wants to help Crystal, so he agrees to meet up with this architect, sending him his address. But Crystal reveals more than to Manny. They strengthen their friendship about his background, and then Manny starts feeling guilty about his decision. He decides the way to help Crystal is to, like, he already agreed to take the money, but now he's like, oh, I'll just help you get into the internet as fast as possible, and then I can still get the money. And it's like a win-win. But then the man shows up with the money, and it's revealed what the plan was, and Manny feels guilty, but Crystal doesn't feel emotion, so it's all good. Like, he's like, it's like this tension, but then it's like, I'm not offended, like, you know, obviously, I don't feel emotion.
What if this guy, his goal that shows up, he wanted it so he could do this anyway? He's like, dude.
Oh, yeah, so then he helps.
Yeah, so he helps. He shows up and he's like,
okay,
I wanted one of these.
Genius.
I need it. Or, you know, somewhere along these lines. Like, I needed to help one of these things, and I tried to do it, and I fucked it up, and I can never forgive myself for that, and I've been trying to help that forever, and I know a way to do it, There's I don't know, something. I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't know a way, but
he
that's a
doesn't know
genius
a way.
idea.
Yeah, exactly, because
So
that's too simple. But like, you see where I'm going with this, and like make it very broad, so we could figure out exactly who this guy is and take parts and shit and make this character. Because that's a good idea.
maybe we make maybe we lead people on to think that this guy is gonna maybe decide to steal Crystal, but then we, like you said, subvert their expectations and we say,
What if?
That's my whole goal,
Yeah,
is to upload one of these to the internet.
Hear me out here. What if you play the guy who last buried it? A guy in the desert,
Okay.
or something like that, in California. You play that guy, and you do something with your beard, maybe even gray it out, and you're older or something like that, maybe something along those lines. And then you play you. No grayed beard or anything like that. You come in as this new character, saying that, your family and everybody, your old Templars or fucking Grand Masons or some shit around there, and you're that character. And then, I mean,
so I'm
you could have
related
different
to
hair,
the person.
maybe even give yourself like very long extended eyebrows, like old people where they're
Cool.
really big and shit, and you do so almost with you coming it like, clean cut and everything, but with like a beard and all that shit like that. They'll be like, oh, like that is a descendant of that character, and the viewer knows that, but like you have to figure it out, and you don't even know how far back your lineage goes exactly.
I really like that idea. That's a cool idea. But then I would also have to play the voice of the artifacts, because it's the same guy who uploaded his voice to the artifact.
Yeah,
body to the artifact.
I
could
know
be
for a
all
fact.
the characters.
No, we could use my friend Dan. My friend Dan could be a voice guy.
Okay.
100%. He could be a voice actor. Like, I'm not even joking. He could be a voice actor.
I would prefer having.
And I can't, because I have like a specific kind of lisp and talk a specific kind of way, to where like you
gotta
like,
write a character for yourself.
It's Zach playing the voice. Like, that's Zach.
Yeah. Okay, so then I love that idea, and we're gonna roll with that. The last thing that I have written is that the buyer changes his mind, so it's revealed that their goals are aligned, and then he helps, and so it subverts their. So now at the very end, down here at the bottom, I have Crystal gets uploaded, they succeed. The stunning surprise right here, like the big. I just wrote down what is the big conflict / climax. We still have to kind of like flesh that out a little bit, but I think that everything leading up to this point, like this makes so much sense, and it's really starting to come together.
Way better than my original idea. Fleshing it out, doing all this work, figuring out the rules, the timeline, all this kind of shit, what it's actually going to stop on, where it actually starts.
Yeah.
This is all what you need to do.
It's cool that like. Exactly, and it's cool that you can come in with just an abstract idea. I'm like, hey, this could be a cool idea, and within like 2 hours, less than 2 hours, we have an actual story that's like, if we pitch somebody, they'd lean in and be like, oh, that sounds cool, I want to know more. Instead of just like, what about this idea? It's like, this is a character in a real world, in a lived-in world, and we have all the lore like figured out, and it's a story.
Yeah.
It's not just an idea. So
yeah.
That's the difference. Dude, sick. All right, cool. Next time we jump on, we could try to figure out that climax real fast, just to like see, or we can start writing from where we have and just pants it and see what comes in that act 3 from just like our creativity, because we know where the end is going to be, we know where we're going to end, and we have the first half of the movie, so we can really just kind of let that second half of the movie flesh itself out, and if we start getting stuck, we can go back to the outlining process in the future if we need to.
Yeah.
Sweet. So writer duet next time then? Jump right into writer duet? Cool, man. Let's do it.